Good morning, afternoon, or evening. My name is Shannon, and today I thought I would talk about my most anticipated releases for 2024 because the year is almost over and there are so many releases in 2024 that I'm so excited for. So I thought I would talk about some of them with you guys. So let's just get started. Also, just to let you guys know, if the cover has been revealed for the book, I will show it to you guys, but if it hasn't, I won't be putting any picture in. So, the first book is The Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. This is the third and I believe final book in the Atlas series, and I started the Atlas 6 last year, and I found out that it ended on a cliffhanger, so I literally stopped reading it. And then I waited for the Atlas Paradox to come out, then I found out that ended on a cliffhanger too. So I'm waiting until the final one comes out for me to read the full trilogy, and that I believe comes out in the beginning of January. But the first book is really good, it's really interesting, it's about magic and dark academia. It's all really, really good. And it's kind of a competition. I know in the first book, they bring in 6 students into this academy, and then at the end of the school year, only 5 students will be there. There's not much more I know about the series, but I'm really excited for that to come out so I can read the full series. The next book I'm really, really excited to come out, this was actually announced yesterday, was Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the 3rd book in the Maple Hills series. This is Henry's story. He's apparently having some trouble in one of these classes, and he runs into, I honestly don't know her name, but he runs into this girl and she tutors him and they have a fake dating kind of thing. I don't know. I'm so excited for Henry's book. Henry is, I feel like, everyone's favorite character in that series. I mean, JJ is honestly my favorite character, but I don't think we're gonna get a book for him. I am very, very excited for that book. It comes out sometime in summer of 2024 because I remember yesterday she said it was a tentative date, like it's not 100% yet. The next book is Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the 2nd book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. The first one was Done and Dusted. I gave that book 5 stars. This one is about Gus. He is Clementine's big brother from the last book, and he meets this girl at a bar and they end up kissing. I don't think they hook up, but then he learns that this is actually the girl he hired to redo this house that he wants to redo, and he seems enamored with her and she has no part of it. She's like, this is professional, I want this to stay professional, and things just kind of go from there. But I'm really, really excited for that because I love books where the guy is obsessed with the girl, always. That book comes out in March of 2024. The next book is The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is, I wouldn't say it's in the Inheritance Games series, but it's like Inheritance Games adjacent. So Avery, who is the one that inherits the money in the Inheritance Games series, she creates a kind of Willy Wonka kind of type thing where there are 7 golden tickets and there's a huge competition with all these puzzles and everything, and apparently Grayson plays a really big part in it, and it sounds so, so good. And that one comes out July 30th. The next one, I have never read anything by this author, but Bloodguard by C.C. Robson sounds so good. It is the 1st book in a series, and it has painted edges, which, 1st book in a series and the 1st print release has painted edges. That tells me all I need to know about the book quality. Like, I know people are gonna love it if it's already being given a basically special edition on the 1st print run. This book is about Leith. and he entered into the gladiator arena hoping to become a champion and win money to help save his dying sister. But it seems like they took everything from him, and now Maeve, this elven princess, is seeming to offer him a chance at winning the title of being a blood guard and his freedom along with it. And it sounds so good. It sounds like enemies to lovers, and I always love competition books. Like, I think it's Serpent and the Wings of the Night. That book was so good. And The Hunger Games, just anything that has any kind of tournament or champion, or I just love it so much. And so I'm really, really excited for that to come out. Especially with the elven part. I haven't read a book about elvish people yet. That book is set to come out in April. Next, this book is also set to come out in April. It is The King of Sloth. It is Anna Huang's 4th book in the Kings of Sin series. There is no description for this book yet. There is no cover. We know nothing other than the fact that it's from that series and Anne Huang, and that's all I need to know in order to heavily anticipate it. I love Anna Huang's books. I loved the whole Twisted series. I haven't started the Kings of Sin series yet, but I imagine when I do, I will love it just as much. The next book is Wild Love. This is the first book in, I believe it's called the Rose Hill series. It is Elsie Silver's newest series that is coming out. This book is based on Willa's older brother. So if you read the Chestnut Spring series, you know who Willa is. Her older brother is the main character in this book. It seems, because we don't have a description of the book yet, but in the preview that I read in Hopeless, it seems like it's a second chance romance about his best friend's little sister. I love any trope that's best friend's brother, brother's best friend. I love it. I eat it up every single time. And with that, it also seems like it's a single dad trope, because in the preview for the book, there was a girl that came to his door and was like, "You're my dad." And he's like, "No, I'm not." And then his friend is like, "Did you ever donate sperm?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did. It's actually possible that this is my kid." I think it sounds so good. I think it will be a very interesting interpretation of the single dad trope, and I'm really interested to see how it plays out. It's coming out in April. This may be one of my most anticipated books ever, but it is Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. This is the 5th book in the Magnolia Park series. If you have read this series, you will know how both Magnolia Park's Long Way Home and Daisy Hates the Great Undoing ends. And if you don't know, let's back up for a little prologue. So far there are 4 books in this series. Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home, and Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates follow the same timeline. Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home and Daisy Hates the Great Undoing also follow the same timeline. So both of their ends are kind of the same. They just follow it through a different person's perspective. Anywho, the end of those 2 books had me sobbing, screaming, crying, throwing up. And I'm really, really interested in seeing what happens after this. I'm showing you guys the traditionally published cover. The original art cover hasn't been released yet, but I imagine that it will be just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, than the rest in the series so far. But that book comes out February 13th. which I thought was interesting because it's coming out right around Valentine's Day. The next book is Crescent City 3. If you watch my channel, you would know that I actually haven't read any of the Crescent City books, but I don't care because I'm still highly anticipating this book release, and while I may not read it when it comes out, I will most certainly be buying it when it comes out. And that book comes out in mid-January, I think. This is also probably one of my favorite series. It is the 5th book in the Boys of Tommen series. It is Taming VII. This book is Clarence Gibbs's book. I have only read Binding and Keeping 13. I haven't read the 3rd and 4th book, which I'm going to get into in a second, but Taming VII, Clarence Gibbs are my loves. I love them so, so much. You can tell that Gibbs has gone through a lot because it goes into a little bit about what happened to him as a child, but oh my god, I'm so interested to get into his psyche and see how that works. And they've just been in love with each other for so long that I am so excited to see how their actual book is going to go. It's definitely a friends to lovers, childhood friends to lovers. They've just, oh my god, they are each other's person. I don't know how it could be any more clear. They, to me, they have a connection like Macy and Elliot from Love and Other Words. They're genuinely soulmates, and I cannot wait to read their book. And that book comes out in mid-April. Along with that, I'm also really looking forward to Saving and Redeeming 6 coming out in February and March respectively, because they are being traditionally published. I was not able to buy them before the indie cover and ebook were taken off the market, so I have no way of reading them right now. But that is Shannon's brother Joey and Afa. Please don't kill me if I'm butchering the pronunciation. I read it in the pronunciation guide and I may be thinking about the wrong name, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Afa or Afa. I don't know. I am really excited to see how that romance plays out, especially since we'll be going back in time a little bit because they're already together by the time Binding 13, like in the timeline. I think Saving 6 is going to be before Binding 13, and Redeeming 6 is going to line up with that sort of timeline. I could be completely wrong. It'll be interesting to see that. Oh my gosh, next. The next book is Funny Story by Emily Henry. This book is coming out mid-April. It sounds so good and so funny. This story is about Daphne, and Daphne was married, but her husband left her for his childhood best friend named Petra. And Petra's ex, I believe Petra was engaged, but Petra's ex and Daphne decide to move in together because they both need a new place to live, so they figure why not live with each other. And while they're living with each other, they will also be taking misleading pictures to post on social media to make it seem like they're dating to their exes. And I love that so much because it sounds like they're going to become really good friends from this and then fall in love. And the fake dating, I love the roommate trope, especially with fake dating and all that stuff. I'm so excited for that to come out and for me to read that. The next book is not guaranteed to come out this year at all. It is Actar 6. This book is predicted to come out this upcoming year. I could be totally wrong. It could not come out at all, but I do know it is the next book of hers that will be released after Crescent City 3. I really hope it's Elaine's book because I think everyone is wondering what the f is going on there. I know everyone is wondering who the fuck she's gonna end up with everything that's going on with her. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil anything for any of you that haven't fully read the series that's published so far, but I'm really intrigued to see what's going on there. But like I said, it's not even a guarantee that this book is going to come out this upcoming year. This is kind of just a hopeful thing that's going to come out. The last book that I'm so far anticipating, because obviously it's not even 2024 yet, so a lot of the books that I will be anticipating have not even been announced yet. It is Falling for Gage by Mia Sheridan. This is in the same universe as Archer's Voice and Travis. Archer's Voice is actually the book that got me into romance. I also really enjoyed Travis. Definitely not as much as Archer's Voice though. And we don't have any description, any tropes, but Falling for Gage is about one of the town members, kind of. He's Gage Buchanan. He is the guy that threw the New Year's Eve party, if you know what scene I'm talking about from Archer's Voice. But I am very excited to see where that goes. And that is coming out in April. So if you couldn't pick up on that, most of these books are coming out in April or earlier. That is because a lot of the books for 2024 obviously haven't been announced yet. But with that being said, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. All of my social media is linked down below for you guys. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you guys can get notified right when I post a new video. I hope you all are having an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!